All right, we're looking at number 19 from IP51. Came with this little graph here. And the idea here is that we have favorite sports, and then it's listed here: pro football, baseball, college football, auto racing, and other. And then how many people from a survey preferred each of those sports. So I know it's kind of tiny in the video here, but for pro football, 805 people preferred that. 291 for baseball. College football was 291, 179 for auto racing, and 671 preferred an other sport. Now, in my independent practice, my first go round, I had a little typo there, so I'm going to actually answer two questions. The original question was supposed to be, what's the probability that anyone chosen at random prefers anything other than pro football? So I'm going to do that first, and then I forgot the word pro, and I didn't realize in the first there were two footballs, so I'll do both of those. So let's start here with pro football. Since pro football is just one of these things, it's actually easier to use the complement. If we want to know the probability of not picking pro football, so I'll put pro football here, and then that not probability has that line over it. It's everything minus the probability of pro football. And this is actually faster to do than tallying up everything else together. So we're going to do 1 minus, well, what's the probability of pro football? Well, it's 805 people, out of, oh, you know what, I didn't jot this down. I have it in the notes here. It's 2,237 people. So let me put that here. That's the information that you would have to have. That's how many people were surveyed. Survey 2,237 people. That matters because that's the total. So it's 1 minus this 805 out of 2,237. And if you feel like that is math that you wouldn't necessarily want to do in your head, that is absolutely no problem. We are going to use we're going to make the calculator do that. It's going to be 1 minus 805 out of 2,237. And that gives us this as a decimal, about 0.64. So I'm going to turn that thing into a percent, multiply that by 100, and that is roughly 64%. So we do 1 minus the probability of being in pro football, and that in the calculator is roughly 64%. Okay. Now the question with the typo in it said anything other than football. Now this leaves 3 other categories because there's pro football and there's college football. So this one's not that bad. I'd either have to add those 2 and subtract it or add up those 3. So here I'm going to do the probability of anything but football. So this is the college and the pro together. So here I'm just going to tally it up. I know it's out of 2,237, but I'm just going to add up the baseball, the auto racing, and the other. And if I add those up, I get 291 for baseball, 179 for auto racing, and 671 for other. That gives me a total of 1141. So it's 1141 out of 2,237. We'll go ahead and convert this to a percent. 1141 out of 2,237, and that's roughly 51%. So the probability of liking anything other than pro football is about 64%. The probability of liking anything other than football is about 51%. All right, hope that's helpful. Message me anytime with questions, and I'll see you in class.